This is like a fire department announcing, "We only break down doors when there's a fire." Except now they're kicking in doors because somebody looked like they might be holding a match. And Rep. Jasmine Crockett. She walked into a room full of excuses and treated it like a courtroom. Because they say law and order. But what she's describing is power without restraint.
I've heard so much and I have prepared remarks, and if you know anything about me, you never know where I'm going. And frankly, I don't either, because I have already cried this morning. So I'll just start here. As a civil rights lawyer, I'm incensed. As an American, I'm embarrassed. As a human, I'm infuriated. And as a member of Congress, I am immovable in my pursuit of accountability. You see, right now, people want to pretend as if this is right or left, but I'm here to tell you that this is about right or wrong. And it is very sad that the only people that are sitting here are members of the Democratic side. So I guess we just want to stand on the side of right. For once, we will be associated with being right instead of left.
So here's the thing. Rep. Jasmine Crockett, who's a civil rights lawyer and a member of Congress, delivered a blistering statement accusing ICE and the Trump administration's broader posture of using race, accents, and political disagreement as pretexts for arrests. She framed it plainly. Not left versus right versus wrong. And she didn't do the usual political mush-mouth thing. She called it pure racism, compared it to modern-day slave patrols, and warned that constitutional rights are being treated like optional add-ons. And the quiet part, she points out who wasn't in the room, because only Democrats were sitting there.
Because my question to any of you, and I just go down the line and ask you, is it right or wrong to arrest someone because of the color of their skin?
Absolutely not.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because of their accent?
Wrong.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they were exercising their constitutional rights?
It is wrong.
Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they simply disagree with you?
It's wrong.
All right, so it seems like y'all all went to elementary school and y'all can tell right from wrong. I'm not really sure what is going on with ICE right now, but I can tell you, and as we heard earlier, this is pure racism. I don't know why we want to tinker around with it and pretend as if it's something other than what it is. I like to call a thing. And he has told us time and time again who he was when he talked about certain people being from certain shithole countries. Those are his words. Only reason I'm cussing in this moment. When he said things like they are eating the cats and dogs. We knew exactly what we were getting. And some people are saying, I don't know how we got here, but I do. Because we know that dehumanizing, I believe that you said something to the effect of cruelty and humiliation are the point. That's what you said, Miss Patty. Because when we look at other places, say places that did things like, go door to door, looking for people.
Let's look at what happened, and I'll give you my take at the end. Because the words matter, the timeline clues matter, and the logic trap she sets is brutal. And if you think this is just politics, stay with me, because it's bigger than that.
As they had to hide out, say, in an attic. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Or the images that I have seen of people being attacked by law enforcement, whether we're talking about dogs or fire hoses, it seems very reminiscent of something that we have seen before in this country. And then people get offended and try to say I'm too black, but the reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. So I'm going to be clear about one thing. I know my good black history. And so when I look and I say, and I will say it loud and proud because the DH secretary had a few choice words for me, but this looks like modern day slave patrols. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court. Whoever thought we would live in a country that progress looks like having a Supreme Court that says, yes, it is okay to look at somebody or to listen to their accent and give permission to grab them. The last time that I checked, ICE is only supposed to be doing immigration enforcement. And right now we have a record number of U.S. citizens that have not only been arrested, but as we saw with Renee, that have been killed, that have been maimed, that have been bullied, that have been brutalized, that have been unlawfully arrested. Y'all, we are living with an abuser right now. That is who Trump and his administration is. And frankly, I think we all have a little bit of PTSD. But if you know anything about a domestic abuser, the one thing about them that you need to know is that they are some of the biggest cowards that you will ever find. What they can't stand is when you actually fight back. And so thank you so much for everybody in Minnesota. But it is time for our entire country to stand together. Because if you don't recognize that we are all in the same sinking ship, whether you are black, white, Latino, African, whoever you are, the reality is that we have an administration that has decided that they are going to ignore our constitutional rights, and we will not stand for it. Otherwise, our democracy will fall. So I just got this to say because she is blanking.
Thank you, Representative Crockett. We got some people that got to make some planes.
She opens with a four-part indictment: professional, patriotic, personal, institutional. As a civil rights lawyer, I'm incensed. As an American, I'm embarrassed. As a human, I'm infuriated. And as a member of Congress, I am immovable in my pursuit of accountability. That's not a vibe. That's a sworn statement with spine. She forces a clean yes or no moral record like cross-examination. Is it right or wrong to arrest someone because of the color of their skin? Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because of their accent? Is it right or wrong to arrest somebody because they were exercising their constitutional rights? And after the crowd answers wrong, she hits them with, "So, it seems like y'all all went to elementary school, and y'all can tell right from wrong." They say they're confused, but somehow they still know exactly what wrong looks like. She connects rhetoric to outcomes, dehumanizing language, then dehumanizing policy. She references Trump's past language, shithole countries, and the "they are eating the cats and dogs" style of demonization, and argues, "We knew exactly what we were getting." They say it's about enforcement, but she's saying the setup was always humiliation. She uses historical parallels deliberately: door-to-door searches, attic imagery, dogs and fire hoses, then calls out the performative offense when people say she's too black. The reality is that y'all never let the fact that I am black go. In other words, they say don't make it about race, but they never stop treating it like it is. She doesn't just blame agencies. She names the legal permission structure. And they have been sanctioned by this Supreme Court. Then she describes a world where it's okay to look at somebody or to listen to their accent and give permission to grab them. They say the courts protect rights. But she's arguing the courts are being used to license suspicion. She alleges spillover beyond immigration enforcement, a record number of U.S. citizens being arrested, and references Renee as a named case involving a death. Killed, maimed, bullied, brutalized, unlawfully arrested. Now she's making the core claim. Mission creep. ICE is only supposed to be doing immigration enforcement, she says, yet the net is catching Americans. And then she lands the big metaphor. Y'all, we are living with an abuser right now. And like any abuser, biggest cowards, they can't stand when people fight back. So what does this actually mean for you? It means the standard for state power quietly shifts from probable cause to vibes. And once that happens, nobody's rights are special. They're just temporary. Think of it like a landlord who says, "I only enter apartments for emergencies," then starts letting himself in because a tenant seems suspicious. That's not safety. That's a system that rewards intrusion. Or like a smoke detector that's supposed to go off when there's smoke, but now it blares because it heard an accent. Once the sensor is corrupted, everybody's living in false alarms, until the real emergency hits and no one trusts the sound. Money-wise, this is lawsuits, settlements, medical bills, missed work, communities paying for misconduct, and public services warped around fear instead of trust. Rights-wise, if constitutional protections become optional depending on who you are, then the Constitution becomes a prop. This isn't really about ICE. This is about whether the government needs a real reason before it puts hands on you. This isn't really about border policy. This is about permission, social permission and legal permission to treat certain people as inherently suspect. Incident becomes pattern. Pattern becomes policy. Policy becomes precedent. And precedent becomes a country where right is whatever the powerful can get away with. Punchline: moral truth, no sugar. A government that can target them without rules will eventually target you without rules. Now zoom out. Crockett's message is that the danger isn't just cruelty, it's normalization. Once the public gets trained to shrug, the system learns it can escalate. So yes, this speech is emotional. It's supposed to be. Because the question she's really asking is the title question. Is this who we are now? Or are we going to demand rules that apply to everyone, especially the people with badges and power? If you found this useful and you want more like it, hit like and subscribe. It helps independent commentary reach more people. Thanks for watching.